Welcome to my channel, Old Coins History 333. In this video, I tell you about the United States of America Jefferson nickel 5-cent coin, which are most valuable and rare. If you're interested, please subscribe my channel. Thanks. Top 1. When it comes to coin collecting, many people focus on older coins, or those with precious metals, like gold and silver. But what if I told you that some of the most valuable coins are much more recent than you might think? Take, for example, the 1988 Jefferson nickel and Washington quarter dollar. While these coins may seem like everyday pocket change, there's something special about certain examples that can turn them into rare, highly valuable treasures. So, what makes these particular coins from 1988 worth so much? And why should you pay attention the next time you're holding a quarter or nickel from that year? First, let's take a look at the Washington quarter dollar. Released by the U.S. Mint for general circulation, the Washington quarter has been a staple of American currency since it was first introduced in 1932. The coin features the iconic profile of George Washington, the first president of the United States. But what many don't know is that certain years of the Washington quarter have become especially desirable among collectors. The 1988 Washington quarter, for example, was part of a time when the U.S. Mint was focusing on maintaining a consistent design and production process. But it's the condition and potential for minting errors in the 1988 version that have made it stand out. Over time, the Washington quarter has seen many variations, especially when it comes to minting errors. The 1988 quarter is no exception. While most of these coins are still circulating, a small number of them were produced with rare mistakes, such as off-center strikes, double dies, or even some coins that have been misaligned. These kinds of errors are incredibly rare, and when they are found, they can turn a simple coin into a highly coveted collector's item. If you happen to stumble upon a 1988 Washington quarter with one of these rare defects, you're in for a surprise. A coin that might seem ordinary to most can easily become worth far more than you ever imagined. Now, let's shift gears and take a look at the Jefferson nickel. Much like the Washington quarter, the Jefferson nickel has been in circulation for many years, and the 1988 version is no different. The Jefferson nickel features a portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse, with the reverse showing his iconic home, Monticello. As one of the longest-running designs on U.S. coins, the Jefferson nickel has become a familiar sight in the pockets of Americans. However, much like the Washington quarter, the value of a 1988 Jefferson nickel can vary significantly based on factors like condition and potential minting errors. One of the key factors that make the 1988 Jefferson nickel interesting to collectors is the possibility of rare die errors. Over time, the dies used to mint coins can wear down, and when this happens, it can lead to defects on the coins themselves. Some 1988 Jefferson nickels were produced with noticeable errors, such as doubling on the lettering, misaligned designs, or even incorrect mint marks. These coins, especially those that are in excellent condition and feature a particularly noticeable error, can become highly valuable. Coin collectors are always on the lookout for these types of rarities, and finding one can result in a substantial payday. But why are these two specific coins, the 1988 Washington quarter and the 1988 Jefferson nickel, worth so much? Well, the key to understanding their value lies in rarity. While millions of these coins were minted, only a small number of them were kept in pristine, uncirculated condition, or were produced with minting flaws that make them stand out. Coins in mint condition, meaning they have never been circulated or used as currency, are always in demand. However, the real game changer comes when you find a coin with a minting error. These errors make the coin a one-of-a-kind, and collectors are often willing to pay top dollar for them. Now, you might be wondering, how much can these coins be worth? While most 1988 Washington quarters and Jefferson nickels are worth no more than their face value, 25 cents and 5 cents, respectively, the coins that are in pristine condition or feature rare errors can command a jaw-dropping price. In fact, a well-preserved 1988 Washington quarter with a rare minting error has been known to sell for up to $55,000. Yes, $55,000. That's right. A single coin that originally had a face value of just 25 cents can end up being worth thousands of dollars when it's in exceptional condition or features an error that makes it highly unique. So, the next time you're sifting through your spare change, keep an eye out for these coins. The 1988 Washington quarter and Jefferson nickel might just look like regular coins, but there's a chance they could be hiding a valuable rarity. Whether it's an error or simply a perfectly uncirculated coin, you could be holding on to something that could fetch a significant price down the road. In conclusion, the 1988 Washington quarter dollar and Jefferson nickel 5-cent coins are far more than just everyday pocket change. With the right condition and the possibility of minting errors, these coins have become highly sought after by collectors. If you're fortunate enough to find one of these rare coins in excellent condition or with a minting flaw, you could be looking at a substantial financial gain. A 1988 Washington quarter or Jefferson nickel could be worth as much as $55,000 in the right market. So, next time you check your coins, remember, you might just be holding a small fortune. Top 2. Imagine this. You're going through your change, maybe looking for spare coins to throw into a jar or spend on a cup of coffee, when suddenly you come across a 1990 Washington quarter or a 1990 Jefferson nickel. At first glance, they seem like nothing special, just another dime a dozen coin, right? But hold on, because what if I told you that one of these coins could be worth an eye-watering amount of money, far more than the mere 25 cents or 5 cents it was originally worth? The 1990 Washington quarter and the 1990 Jefferson nickel have been quietly hiding their potential, and some of them have turned out to be far more valuable than you could ever imagine. Let's start with the Washington quarter. This coin, which has featured the profile of George Washington since 1932, is a staple of American currency. By 1990, it was part of a regular minting process that produced millions of coins to meet the demand of daily transactions. For most people, finding a 1990 Washington quarter is no big deal. After all, they were everywhere in circulation back in the day. But when it comes to collectors, it's all about finding the ones that stand out, and the 1990 quarter is no different. What makes the 1990 Washington quarter potentially valuable is its condition and any special characteristics it might have. Most quarters you come across from that year will be in fairly worn-out condition, especially since they've been in circulation for decades. However, if you find a 1990 Washington quarter that is in pristine, uncirculated condition, meaning it has no scratches, discoloration, or other signs of wear, you could be holding on to something worth more than just a quarter. Coins in mint condition, especially those kept in sealed rolls or mint sets, are often highly sought after by collectors. But the real value comes if your 1990 quarter has a rare minting error. Some of these quarters were struck with noticeable mistakes, like off-center strikes, double dies, or other small anomalies. These rare minting errors can increase a coin's value substantially. So, if you have a 1990 Washington quarter that fits the bill, you might be looking at a valuable collector's item. Now, let's move on to the 1990 Jefferson nickel. The Jefferson nickel has been a recognizable coin since 1938, and its design, featuring the profile of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and Monticello on the reverse, has remained largely unchanged for decades. The 1990 Jefferson nickel was part of regular circulation, but again, collectors are often more interested in finding coins with rare features. So, what makes a 1990 Jefferson nickel stand out? As with the Washington quarter, the value of the 1990 Jefferson nickel is largely determined by its condition. If you come across a nickel that's in uncirculated condition, it's already worth more than face value. But beyond just pristine condition, it's all about the errors. Minting flaws are an exciting part of coin collecting, and over the years, a number of 1990 Jefferson nickels have been found with rare imperfections. For example, some of these coins were struck with double dies, which means the design was imprinted twice, creating a noticeable doubling effect. There are also coins with misaligned or off-center strikes, which can make them much more interesting to collectors. The rarer the error, the more valuable the coin becomes, and there's always the possibility that the 1990 Jefferson nickel you find could be a one-of-a-kind piece. But what makes these coins really intriguing is the sheer value they can hold in the right circumstances. While most 1990 Washington quarters and Jefferson nickels are worth no more than their face value, there's a select group of coins that are worth far more. It's not just about rarity. It's about finding a coin with the right characteristics that collectors are willing to pay top dollar for. And here's the kicker. If you're lucky enough to find a 1990 Washington quarter or Jefferson nickel with a rare error or in mint condition, it could easily fetch up to $50,000. Yes, $50,000. To put that in perspective, you're holding onto a coin that originally cost you just 25 cents or 5 cents, but if it's in the right condition or has a rare minting mistake, it could be worth as much as $50,000. That's the
ਇਹਨੂੰ
beauty
ਬੰਦ
of
ਹੀ ਕਰ
coin
ਦੇ ਪਰ ਖੁੱਲੇ
collecting.
ਚ ਬੰਦ ਕਰ
It's all about the thrill of discovery, the excitement of finding something rare, and the potential for a financial windfall. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or someone who just enjoys going through your spare change, you could be sitting on a small fortune without even knowing ITSO. What should you do if you come across a 1990 Washington quarter or Jefferson nickel? First and foremost, take a close look at the coin. Inspect it for any signs of wear, damage, or, most importantly, minting errors. If the coin looks like it's been well preserved and appears to be in uncirculated condition, it's worth holding on to. If you spot any errors, such as double dies or misalignments, take extra care to document the coin and consider having it professionally appraised. Coins with rare mistakes can fetch big prices, and having a professional opinion on the value of your coin can help you determine if you found something truly special. In conclusion, the 1990 Washington quarter and Jefferson nickel may seem like just another set of coins you might find in your pocket change, but they have the potential to be far more valuable than you'd expect. Whether it's the pristine condition or a rare minting error, these coins could easily be worth $50,000. Yes, $50,000. So, next time you check your change, take a second look at those 1,990 quarters and nickels. You could be holding on to a hidden treasure. Top 3. When we think of coins that could be worth serious money, our minds often drift to the past. Ancient coins, limited edition releases, or coins made of precious metals. But what if I told you that even coins from the 1990s, like the 1994 Washington quarter dollar and the 1994 Jefferson nickel, can fetch a jaw-dropping price? These two seemingly common coins, which most people probably toss into their change jars without a second thought, have hidden potential for enormous value. What's the story behind these coins, and why could they be worth as much as $52,000? Stick with me, and let's dive into the fascinating world of coin collecting, where sometimes the most unassuming pieces can be worth a fortune. Let's start with the 1994 Washington quarter dollar. The Washington quarter has been an essential part of U.S. currency since it was first minted in 1932, celebrating George Washington's legacy as the first president of the United States. The 1994 quarter, in particular, came during a time when the U.S. Mint was still producing high numbers of coins to meet the demand of everyday transactions. But while most of these coins were circulated and have long since worn down, there are a few 1994 quarters that stand out. What makes this specific quarter valuable? First, it's important to understand that coin collecting is all about rarity. Yes, millions of 1994 Washington quarters were produced, but the ones that are truly valuable are those that have remained in pristine condition or, even better, have been minted with rare errors. The 1994 quarter, like many coins, can be found in a variety of conditions. A coin that's been used in circulation for years is going to show signs of wear, scratches, dents, fading, and discoloration. However, coins that were carefully stored in mint condition, or those that have been kept in special packaging, have a much higher value. But here's the real kicker. If you come across a 1994 Washington quarter that has a minting error, you could be holding on to something incredibly valuable. Errors like double dies, off-center strikes, and die cracks are just a few of the flaws that can significantly increase the value of a coin. These errors make the coin much more desirable to collectors, and it's not uncommon for such coins to be sold for thousands of dollars. So, if you're fortunate enough to find a 1994 quarter with one of these rare minting flaws, you're looking at a potential gold mine. Now, let's take a closer look at the 1994 Jefferson nickel. Like the Washington quarter, the Jefferson nickel has been in circulation for decades, featuring Thomas Jefferson's portrait on the obverse and his famous home, Monticello, on the reverse. The 1994 nickel might seem like just another standard coin at first, but just like the quarter, it can be worth much more than its face value, depending on its condition and any potential errors. The 1994 Jefferson nickel was minted in significant quantities, but there are certain examples that are considered much rarer than others. For example, there are some 1994 nickels that were struck with unusual features, such as doubling on the design, misalignments, or even die cracks that show up in the details. These imperfections make the coins unique, and when you find one of these error coins, it can dramatically increase the coin's value. Coins like these, which are not only in good condition but also have a distinctive error, are highly prized by collectors. The rarer the flaw, the higher the price. The value of both the 1994 Washington quarter and the 1994 Jefferson nickel increases when you consider the larger context. These coins are part of a significant era in U.S. coinage. While the coins themselves are relatively modern, they represent a time when the U.S. Mint was transitioning to more modern coin production processes, and errors were more common than one might expect. For collectors, this makes these coins valuable as both examples of U.S. history and as rarities in the world of coin collecting. Now, you might be wondering just how much these coins are worth in today's market. Most 1994 Washington quarters and Jefferson nickels are worth no more than their face value of 25 cents and 5 cents, respectively. But that's where things get exciting. If you happen to have a 1994 quarter or nickel that's in mint condition, or even better, one with a rare error, the value can skyrocket. Some of these coins have sold for upwards of tens of thousands of dollars at auctions. In fact, the 1994 Washington quarter and Jefferson nickel, in the right condition or with the right errors, can be worth as much as $52,000. Yes, you heard that right, $52,000. That's a huge leap from their original face value, and it's a testament to how much value can be hidden in the coins we take for granted. These coins, while commonplace in everyday transactions, hold the potential to become highly valuable collector's items when certain conditions align. Whether it's a rare minting flaw, a coin in pristine condition, or simply the fact that there are fewer of these coins in mint state than expected, the 1994 Washington quarter and Jefferson nickel are prime examples of how much value can be packed into a seemingly ordinary piece of currency. So, next time you're going through your change, take a moment to inspect your 1994 Washington quarters and Jefferson nickels. You might just find a coin that is far more valuable than its face value suggests. Whether you're an avid coin collector or someone who's just interested in the idea of finding a hidden treasure, the 1994 quarter and nickel offer an exciting opportunity to uncover something rare and valuable. And who knows, you could be holding onto a coin worth $52,000 just waiting to be discovered. In the world of coin collecting, it's all about spotting the hidden gems. The 1994 Washington quarter and Jefferson nickel may look like simple coins, but in the right condition, they can be worth a fortune. So, keep your eyes peeled. There's always the chance you'll find something incredible tucked away in your change. Top 4. Have you ever stopped to think that your spare change could be hiding a small fortune? We're talking about everyday coins, ones you might find in your wallet or see lying around in your pocket change. But some of these seemingly ordinary coins, like the 1999 Washington quarter dollar or the 1999 Jefferson nickel, can actually be worth thousands of dollars, far beyond their face value of 25 cents or 5 cents. It might sound unbelievable, but in the world of coin collecting, there are coins that hide rare qualities that make them incredibly valuable. So, what makes the 1999 Washington quarter and Jefferson nickel worth so much? And why are these coins attracting so much attention from collectors? Let's first dive into the 1999 Washington quarter dollar. The Washington quarter has been a staple of American currency since it was introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. By 1999, the design was still the same, featuring the profile of George Washington on the obverse. But that's where the similarities with typical coins end. The value of a 1999 Washington quarter can range from being a standard 25-cent piece to something much, much more valuable. How is that possible? Well, first off, the 1999 Washington quarter is part of the 50 State Quarters program, which was launched in 1999. Each of the state quarters in this series had a unique reverse design, which represented one of the 50 states. This program was wildly popular, with collectors rushing to gather all the state quarters, and it made certain coins more valuable as time passed. The 1999 Washington quarter, however, has a special connection to this program and is often sought after for specific errors or rare conditions that can drive its price up. Like most modern coins, the 1999 Washington quarter came off the minting presses in huge quantities. However, certain examples of this quarter can fetch large sums due to various factors. A coin that is in perfect, uncirculated condition, meaning it's been well preserved and has never been used in circulation, is far more valuable than one that has been through years of wear and tear. The key here is that finding an uncirculated or near-perfect coin is relatively rare, which automatically makes those in good condition worth more than their face value. However, what really drives the value of the 1999 Washington quarter is the possibility of minting errors. You'd be amazed at how many quarters from that year have been discovered with unusual flaws. For example, some 1999 quarters were struck with misaligned dies, creating coins that look off-center or uneven. Others were produced with double die strikes, which means the designs on the coin were imprinted more than once, making certain parts of the image appear doubled. These errors are incredibly rare, and when collectors spot them, they'll often pay big money for a coin with one of these imperfections. Now, let's shift our focus to the 1999 Jefferson nickel. While this coin isn't part of the 50-state quarters program, the 1999 Jefferson nickel is no less intriguing. The Jefferson nickel has been a classic coin in American currency since 1938, featuring a portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and Monticello on the reverse. But the 1999 version of this nickel holds its own significance, and in some cases, it can be just as valuable as its quarter counterpart. Similar to the 1999 Washington quarter, the value of the 1999 Jefferson nickel increases depending on its condition. Most of these nickels were circulated widely and have seen years of wear and damage. However, if you come across one that's been kept in mint condition, it's worth taking a closer look. The 1999 Jefferson nickel also has the potential for errors that could make it more valuable. For example, some 1999 nickels have been found with double dies, where the details of the design are imprinted twice, creating a distinct and noticeable effect. Other 1999 nickels have been struck off-center or with cracks in the die, adding to their uniqueness. What makes both the 1999 Washington quarter and the 1999 Jefferson nickel so fascinating is that while they were both mass-produced, only a small number of these coins were kept in pristine condition or featured rare minting errors. These coins are no longer just pieces of currency, they've become sought-after collector's items. When collectors and investors get their hands on rare coins with these types of features, the price can skyrocket. You might be wondering, how much can these coins actually be worth? Well, the value of a typical 1999 Washington quarter or 1999 Jefferson nickel in normal condition is just the face value of the coin, 25 cents for the quarter and 5 cents for the nickel. But for those coins in near-perfect condition, or those that feature minting errors, the value can be exponentially higher. For instance, a 1999 Washington quarter with a significant minting flaw has been known to sell for thousands of dollars. And similarly, certain 1999 Jefferson nickels with rare defects or in mint condition can fetch a pretty penny die. In fact, some of the most valuable 1999 Washington quarters and Jefferson nickels have been sold for as much as $38,000. Yes, $38,000. That's not a typo. A simple quarter or nickel from 1999, which might have once been tucked away in your pocket or dropped into a vending machine, can be worth a small fortune if it has a rare error or is in impeccable condition. This is what makes the world of coin collecting so fascinating and exciting. A coin that may seem like an ordinary part of everyday life can suddenly transform into a valuable piece of history worth tens of thousands of dollars. The next time you reach into your pocket and pull out a 1999 Washington quarter or Jefferson nickel, take a moment to examine it closely. Is it worn down? Or does it look like it's been well cared for? Is there any unusual doubling in the design? Or does the image appear misaligned? If you notice something out of the ordinary, don't just dismiss it. Take the time to investigate further. You might just have a rare, valuable coin on your hands that could be worth $38,000 or more. In the world of coin collecting, there are hidden treasures all around us, and sometimes they come in the form of a 1999 Washington quarter or Jefferson nickel. These coins are more than just everyday currency. They represent the potential for unexpected wealth and discovery. So, next time you're handling your change, remember, your pocket might just be holding onto something far more valuable than you think. Top 5. Imagine for a second that you're sifting through your spare change, not thinking much about it, when suddenly, you find something that catches your eye. A 2000 Washington quarter or a 2000 Jefferson nickel. At first glance, they seem like nothing special, just another set of coins you might use for a parking meter or vending machine. But what if I told you that tucked away in those seemingly ordinary coins, there could be a hidden treasure worth thousands of dollars? That's right. Your everyday pocket change could be hiding something truly valuable. So, why are these two coins from the year 2000 specifically the Washington quarter dollar and the Jefferson nickel, so valuable, and how can they be worth as much as $28,000? Let's start by taking a closer look at the 2000 Washington quarter. This coin, which has been a staple of U.S. currency since it was first minted in 1932, features the image of George Washington, the first president of the United States. By the year 2000, the Washington quarter had been around for decades, and millions of them were produced to meet the country's demand for change. But just like any other coin, there are certain factors that can make one Washington quarter far more valuable than another. Most of the 2000 quarters that circulated in daily transactions are not worth more than their face value of 25 cents. However, a select few are worth much more, far more than you'd expect. The key to the value of the 2000 Washington quarter lies in its condition and, more importantly, the possibility of minting errors. Most of the 2000 quarters you'll come across will show signs of wear from being used in vending machines, coin rolls, and public transactions. But here's where things get exciting. Some of these quarters were struck with rare errors, making them stand out among the thousands of others minted that year. For example, certain 2000 quarters were struck with misaligned dies, meaning the designs were not perfectly centered on the coin. Others might feature doubling on the images, known as double die strikes, which gives the coin a unique appearance and can dramatically increase its value. These kinds of errors are rare, and finding a 2000 Washington quarter with one of these flaws can make the coin worth far more than its original value. In fact, collectors are always on the lookout for coins that have been minted with unique imperfections, as they represent a piece of history and a rare mistake from the minting process. So, if you happen to find a 2000 quarter with a noticeable error, you might be holding on to a coin that could be worth thousands of dollars. It's this rare combination of minting mistakes and unique condition that makes the 2000 Washington quarter so intriguing for collectors. Now, let's shift our focus to the 2000 Jefferson nickel. The Jefferson nickel, a classic in U.S. coinage since 1938, features Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and the image of Monticello, his famous home, on the reverse. Like the 2000 Washington quarter, the 2000 Jefferson nickel was minted in large quantities, and most of them were circulated in the years following their release. But just like the quarter, there are certain 2000 Jefferson nickels that can be worth much more than their face value of 5 cents. The key to the value of the 2000 Jefferson nickel, just like the quarter, lies in its condition and the possibility of minting errors. Most 2000 nickels you encounter will likely be worn down from years of handling, but if you find one that's in pristine, uncirculated condition, that's where the potential value lies. A coin that has been well preserved, untouched by time and circulation, is far more valuable than one that has been used in countless transactions. But it's the rare minting errors that really turn a standard nickel into a high-dollar collector's item. Just like with the Washington quarter, the 2000 Jefferson nickel could have been struck with a variety of minting flaws that would make it worth far more than its original value. Some 2000 nickels were struck with double dies, which causes the images on the coin to appear as if they were imprinted twice. Others might feature off-center strikes or misaligned designs. These types of errors are incredibly rare and highly coveted by collectors. If you happen to find a 2000 Jefferson nickel with one of these flaws, it could be worth significantly more than you think. So, why do collectors care so much about these coins from 2000? What makes them so valuable when there were so many of them minted? The answer lies in their rarity. While the U.S. Mint produced millions of these coins, only a small number of them are in pristine condition or feature minting errors that make them stand out. Coins that have been well preserved or have unique flaws are always in high demand, as collectors are constantly searching for rare examples to add to their collections. Now, let's talk about how much these 2000 Washington quarters and Jefferson nickels can actually be worth. While most of the coins you find in circulation today are worth only their face value, a coin with the right condition or minting error can be worth a lot more. If you happen to find a 2000 Washington quarter or a 2000 Jefferson nickel with a rare minting error or in perfect uncirculated condition, it could easily fetch thousands of dollars at auction. In some cases, these coins have sold for as much as $28,000. Yes, that's right, $28,000 for a single coin that originally had a face value of just 25 cents or 5 cents. To put that into perspective, imagine finding a coin in your pocket or spare change that you thought was just a regular quarter or nickel, only to discover it's worth as much as $28,000. That's the beauty of coin collecting. You never know what you might find. It's this excitement and sense of discovery that makes coin hunting so thrilling. So, the next time you find yourself with a handful of change, don't just pass over those 2,000 Washington quarters or Jefferson nickels. Take a moment to inspect them closely. Look for signs of wear, but also look for any minting errors or signs that the coin may have been kept in excellent condition. If you're lucky enough to find one with a rare flaw or in pristine state, you might just be holding onto a coin worth $28,000. In conclusion, the 2000 Washington quarter and Jefferson nickel, while seemingly ordinary, have the potential to be worth far more than their face value. Coins from this era may not seem rare at first, but with the right condition or minting error, they can turn into valuable collector's items. So next time you're going through your pocket change, take a moment to examine those 2000 quarters and nickels. You could very well be holding a coin worth $28,000 or more.